Hey guys, so it looks like anxiety for surging sparks might be over, at least for those who are holding their product and have been thinking about selling. So I honestly have been in the same boat. I did list some of mine on Facebook Marketplace to see what I would get. But yeah, we've been seeing this sort of like pretty horizontal line and then around like 210 to 215. And all of a sudden we have this spike to 225. And the lowest listing on TCG Player is basically $235 with the shipping involved. And, you know, there's a bunch of them after that. And usually when this sort of happens, like either um, people will flood the market with the lower prices again. Um, but the other side of it is usually some people are just being like, hey, look, this is, everyone's agreeing that this is the lower price or the higher price that they want. Like they want $235. So we'll kind of see how Ashley goes. But this momentum is a nice change of pace. Um, and I was kind of looking at other booster boxes to see what else is kind of trending like that. This is kind of sales data. I just had it open because it's easier to load. But I do see a bunch of TCG Play doesn't add the shipping, unfortunately. But I do see a bunch of like 230s kind of consistently the last I guess yesterday. I also am wondering if New Year's is doing anything with affecting this at all. I know that like there's literally are tax implications for businesses and whatever. Um, but yeah, there seems to be some movements from the last few days. The other things that are moving are Paldea and Obsidian. Paldea is moving a lot because it's pretty much sold out everywhere. Well, still on Pokemon Center. I think it's the three pack blisters might still be there. And Obsidian, that's also sold out, is also making moves. The other ones, generally everything's rising up, but yeah, Scarlet and Violet has this graph. But yeah, I think that the strongest things are Paldea and Obsidian, and the Surging is kind of coming back. Paradox went up, and now it's like having a little of a mid. Temporal has been kind of floundering. Um, and Twilight is kind of still stuck around the same point of around 160. But I did make a video recently saying that it will probably go up pretty soon in the next month, probably less than a month, because I was seeing sales for 100 boxes a day, and there's only 3,000 left. There's probably less now. I haven't checked the last couple of days. But yeah, once we get down to 2,000, 1,000 territory, I recommended that you should probably just look right now if you want to get on Twilight Masquerade, um, because it's not going to get any cheaper. Stellar is still going up, but what I wanted to look at was I went on TCG Player. I think the this might not be apples to apples because I think last time what I did is that last time I may have just taken whatever the market price is down here, um, and use that number. And this time I actually went through each listing. I just took the lowest listing available. But yeah, like I made this comment in the past, but those of you who missed it, it's just a resummarization. So around I think 12, December 28th, maybe 21, I'm not sure exactly. That's when I think it was around that time. I made a video talk about why searching for exclusive boxes were so expensive, and how they're so expensive because even like they're highly desired because the booster boxes are highly desired. They are expensive in the sense of like booster boxes in general price people out. And so some smaller people who are collecting or just want to open or just want to get in on it, they can't afford the booster box. But other than that, like if you're investing or you're opening mass quantities or whatever, booster boxes were still the way to go, and they still are actually. The price per pack was about less than $6, and everything else like there were some that were kind of close to that. Um, but still, like it makes a huge difference. Like I added these two columns. Like this is the ratio of like all the other options are at least 10% more, 10 to 15% more. ETBs are very expensive, but like this is what the booster box price would look like. If you compare it to buy 36 packs, like the next cheapest option would be just get 36 loose packs, which is 24 more dollars, and people don't like to open 36 loose packs generally anyway. So yeah, it's just there's practical things. Ripper shippers are going to need them and whatnot. And Today I just looked at the prices. I took the listing prices, and the lowest price per pack is about 650. So like we've kind of gone in. Let's see, that's less than 2 weeks. The price per pack of the booster box has gone to like the next highest thing, which was like the pack value, and so it's about 650. But I feel like this is like good, like lesson in numbers. Like if you look at the like even I have a hard time like gauging this, but like you're like okay, so the booster box went up from 210 to 220 235. Okay, nice. That's $25. It's kind of like easy to see it when you see large numbers, but like if the ETB just goes up to a few dollars, and if the bundle goes up a few dollars, and the direct blister goes to $3, and the pack goes up by like $1, like does that really matter? And like it kind of does. Um, if you look at the total value of just like all 36 packs, like the booster box is 235. If you buy ETBs, it's like $300. But like pretty much like if you buy loose packs now, I think the cheapest thing right now is the bundle, and it's already $260. So it just shows that there's always room to grow. There's not really any arbitrage opportunities available in the loose pack stuff, and again, like Surgery Sparks will continue to either stay at the same price or go up. Um, I want to look at the singles real quick just to see um, how things are doing there. The Pikachu is remaining kind of flat. Latias is going up. Latias was going up before, so I think yeah, it's kind of a favorite, or people think it's undervalued. The Skull Pikachu is going down. Melodic, yeah, I feel like I think I mentioned this before. I felt like this was kind of undervalued. Like it's just such a nice card, and the Latias is a nice card. The Pikachu's um, I think they're more about rarity and just Pikachu's so hyped, and this is just the most rarest card. And then Hydreigon, it's kind of it went up and it's kind of flatlining. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna just mention something about selling. So if you're thinking about selling, and I would say like just try and make a selling decision with good judgments. And I recently have been learning this, and this is kind of more philosophical thing, but it does apply a lot to investing in general, or just life in general. So good judgment is kind of looking at trying to get the available information and try to see like the information like the situation for what it is, or as much as you can see, and making a decision that like you can make mistakes and stuff, but if you make a mistake, you learn from it, and um, you know that like you haven't really made a good judgment when like your emotions are still kind of really out of it. Like oh, boxes shouldn't like okay. Let's say you're on a very common example in this scenario is that you're selling on Facebook Marketplace because a lot of new sellers will sell there because they don't have a TCG player account set up and they don't have an eBay account set up, and also like there's fees and there's taxes and they don't want to do all of that and shipping, and not only is there like cost associated with that, it's like it's just more stuff than they want to do. And so, but like a lot of people have Facebook, so they go on Facebook and they're like, hey, it'd be really cool if someone just like next door just bought all my stuff for at market price. But that's not usually how that works, and it's really easy to get caught up in the motions of all that. What commonly happens on Facebook Marketplace is that like this is basically what it is. So the Surging Sparks booster box is selling for like say 235. If I bought this box right now, what actually happens with this Motocell seller? Well, they don't actually get the full 235. At least maybe their bank account would get it. I don't really know exactly. I haven't sold TCG Player specifically, but TCG Player gets like a certain cut. I think it's around 10 something percent. There's like a payment processing fee, which is usually like 3%. So most people estimate like fees are usually 13%. I'll just say safely like usually it's 10 13%, 10 to 15%. And then I don't know if the shipping fees are included in that, but maybe not. So like there's all those costs. If you're the buyer, what like how what like when I'm buying, like how much do I pay? Well, I have to pay 235 plus sales tax, which is actually quite a bit. Like I think around me it's like let's just say like it's at least like 7% sales tax to be like sort of average. So that's like a little like 14 $15. So let's just say it's $250 a box. That's very expensive. So like when you buy in Facebook Marketplace, like there's like there's two sides of the coin on that. There's the buyer and seller perspective. Seller wants to kind of get full market price, and they kind of have to accept that like they're usually not going to get it, um, or they'll get a lot of offers at least that are going to be low. To be specific, in my scenario, like when I posted Surging Sparks booster boxes, I commonly got um, request for about $175, and people, and you kind of have to just know like negotiations strategies and how to protect yourself. So if you don't know about negotiation, I'd say a good starting place is to watch this video, like how to win a negotiation. um, this is someone who does hostage negotiations, and the the skills needed to do a hostage situation negotiation are very similar to other ones because there's like emotions and other things in play. Like for example, in this video, he talks about how people have a loss aversion, and so how to get the person out of a certain mental state or emotional state is very important. Um, like so, if you don't know much about that, like I would suggest it. Otherwise, you're in for a rough ride if you're just starting new and you haven't done this before. Because there's a ton of like I've actually done the same thing. Like I've gone on Google and I posted like, oh, why is Facebook Marketplace so difficult to use? A lot of sellers, a lot of buyers, like I'll post something and they'll give me like global offers, like they seem like scammers or spam, or they don't show up or communicate. Um, so it's just very important to protect yourself, but also protect your mental health. But if you do sell, um, you have some boundaries. Like everyone's situation is different, but if you're in the position where you really need the money, um, it might be okay for you to take out like 175. It kind of I feel like because the sellers know, the buyers know that like okay, so they look at everyone else on the marketplace and they can see like it's usually lower than like whatever 235. Like okay, why would I buy from you when I can get from someone else from like 185 to 220? And they'll tell you that like oh like I can get from like 185 to 220. Like if I want to buy from you, like you gotta give me some sort of deal. And like that's true if like you actually want to go through with it. Like it is like the buyer and the seller do need incentives to buy and sell, and it's like whoever has upper hand in the situation has sort of the advantage. Like if you think that Surging Sparks booster boxes are actually on the rise, um, like they're surging in prices, then you can't necessarily force a sale. You can't force someone to just buy from you. Um, but what you can do is that what a lot of people do is they hold, and this gets into more long term investing sort of stuff. Like, hey, like don't go through all the hassle of like because like when I got my Surging Sparks booster boxes, I got them like I got some at pre-release. um, yeah, like I saw the numbers go up. It was pretty nice to see the graph go from um, let's see, November. This is around I think October 8th. So like it went from about 120 to about like 200 in a month. And I was like, oh, but I saw like every step away. I was like, oh, should I sell at this price? Should I sell at this price? But like, I sold enough to know that like I was gonna get like a discount on whatever price TCG player had. So if it was at 200, I was expecting people to only give me like 160, 180. So you have to account for that. Sometimes, like honestly, if you want to, like, you kind of have to know the way you're gonna sell. Sometimes you want a certain price. Sometimes you want a certain percentage off market. A lot of people are pretty much offering 80% of market price. Um, and so if you want something better than that, you're going to have to wait for the seller or whatever. Um, I personally learned that it's good to just filter out a lot of people. Sometimes you want to keep replying to people, but either block them early on or just accept that hey, like these buyers aren't for you, and and honestly just tell them like hey, I'm not going lower than this. Maybe tell them early on like I know you want a deal, but buy for someone else. But again, if you really need the money, or if you're really okay taking it for something like 175, like take it. At that point, just stay safe. Um, but yeah, it's this is something a lot of people are going to get more and more into as they get into this market. If you didn't get on Surging Sparks early and you want to buy now, it's like most people agree it's pretty risky to buy now. Even if you got a deal at like if you are one of those people on like Facebook Marketplace trying to get it for like 175, 180, there are people who will sell it to you for that price. Like it'll take effort. Like on the seller side, they're like, oh, why are these like I have to filter out through all these like low ballers and spammers and scammers, and on the buyer side, like people who are asking for that price are probably messaging like everyone around them with Surging Sparks, and they have to like wait until they can find someone who is actually going to give them a low price. So it takes work on both sides, and that's kind of like what you're exchanging for the money that you make. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. If you're interested in more videos like this, let me know. But yeah, Surging Sparks, I'd say I'm a little more optimistic now with this like price rise. And when I do the analysis of the price per pack, it's still pretty good. Um, if it was like if the price per pack was very close, then maybe I'd be a little concerned. But yeah, it's still one of the best things to buy. So um, anyway, thanks. Have a good day. Bye.